talk about Brandon. It's Harmless Phosphorescence. Hello, everybody. This is meth-addicted psychopath Thoreau Smiley, who's joining me this week.
I'm Josh Cecian. Way to trust the ground, Brian.
I'm Brian Lesh, and let's go, Brandon.
Oh, no.
Brandon, let's go. That's what it was.
Looks like there's more than one set of tracks. One of them looks like an Alaric Weber.
The squatch. He's out there squatching.
You hear that? That's a squatch.
I didn't hear it. I smelled it. Well,
a very distinct odor.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast where we watch every theatrically released live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. This show is brought to you by patrons like executive producers Michael Beckwith and Atticus Burkett. You too.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks. And if you'd like to have your name read on the air like them fellas, you can be a patron too. Patreon.com, Harmless Entertainment. We got bonus content there. $1 a month is all you need to start with to start listening to stuff. You want us to read your name? It'll cost a few bucks extra, but it's worth it because I'll be saying the words that make the sound that is you.
Your name.
Yes.
For instance, if your name was Brandon,
I would say Brandon.
You would say that.
Yes.
We will cheer for you at sporting events, and it's totally not political, Brandon. Don't worry.
Yeah, not at all.
It's totally an adult thing to do.
It's totally reasonable and not in any way dumb that they don't just say what they mean.
Yeah.
Anyways, this week.
They think they're tricking us. That's what I love. That there's secret cracker meetings. They get the dumbest cracker to be like, how about this? And it'll be code for, we like the things you don't like. Like, all right.
Okay, sure.
Fine. I thought we were out on Front Street with that, but...
Yeah, I thought we were pretty upfront about the whole deal.
Yeah.
Anyways, this week on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are watching...
Nixon!
Brightburn.
Who am I? You are a gift. I know it's been difficult for you lately that you feel different from other kids. You are different. After your dad and I got married, we prayed for a baby for so long. One night, someone listened. Brandon? You are special. We believe that you came here for a reason. He was in the barn.
Did he find it?
No. It was like he was drawn to it.
He may look like us. He's not like us.
Brightburn.
It looks like she was taking an eye exam in that walk-in cooler.
Brightburn. Released May 24th, 2019, with a running time of 90 minutes. At least it was short.
It was a tight 90. I'll give it that.
It cost $12 million and it made $32.9 million. So not like a flop, but not like awesome.
I mean, it's a horror movie. That's pretty good for a horror movie.
It did. It did perform below expectations. They were expecting it to make somewhere in the range of 55 to 70, is according. But
I think part of that's word of mouth getting out. They're like, oh, it's actually not the superhero movie that you were sold
right
on it being. It's a horror movie.
At the time, I could see myself like going to see it and liking it. All right. Now, now with the boys and with more Superman having been done so many more times. And,
yeah. I mean, between the boys and Invincible, it's kind of like we've seen evil Superman. Like,
Yeah.
well,
And this is the lesser of those three things for sure.
yeah,
well, and we see Henry Cavill play Mad Superman. In what is it? It's in Justice League, right? When they bring him back to life.
yeah.
Takes him a while to recognize everybody. Starts beating.
When you come
He's
back,
like Batman. Batman had on a domino mask. How was I supposed to know?
he's like, you said surprise, and I freaked out, guys.
Like, at least let me get my
Sorry.
coffee.
Yeah, you could never have a surprise party for Superman.
No, you couldn't. He'd
No,
always
you
know.
couldn't. He would destroy you all accidentally. All right, go on. I'm sorry. I'm writing that down. But
That's going in your type 5. Anyways,
oh, it's a loose 3 hours. At this point. I'm like the Spalding Gray of crap.
See, I thought you were going the other direction, or you could perceive it from another direction, that he would see it coming.
yeah.
He would.
You would see it coming.
So
That's
you
why
can't-
it's extra fun.
can't surprise him.
Does Superman
But
have a
if you
heightened
did,
sense of,
watch out.
Yeah.
does he have a heightened sense of smell?
I mean,
I would assume so.
the-
I just never thought about
the
that.
problem
Like,
with
could he
that-
smell the candles on the cake?
I imagine.
That'd be terrible
See,
to smell everything.
Would he? I mean, he would hear the stripper's heartbeat inside the cake.
I mean, my wife has
Would he
super
smell the
smelling,
stripper
and she
inside the
hates it.
cake?
But well,
What
see,
throw?
I was just saying my wife is super smelling, and she hates it. But the problem with Superman,
to have it constantly,
yeah. See, the
like
problem,
he hears all the voices around the world, and you would smell all the farts.
yeah, he's probably like, but he was like constantly the one who dealt it. Then,
always answering gas
Constantly.
leaks throughout the Midwest. It's like,
But never. It's like Superman, help! Is Lois there?
I'll think about it. Yeah, Brightburn, it did not as well as they were expecting at the box office. And that means it's time for us to play the box office top 10 game. Here is the game where I'm going to describe the top 10 movies of the week of May 24th, 2019. And you fellas are going to try to guess what that movie is. You ready to play, guys?
Yeah, we are.
All right, here we go.
Okay, me. I am. I should have spoken only for myself.
we'll watch you play, Josh.
Yeah, bring it. Brightburn.
Okay, opening.
Breitbart.
Opening.
Oh God, this is our right wing episode, man.
Yeah. Breitbart. Brandon.
This episode you can find only on OAN.
On Trump's freedom, whatever it is.
They did say this was produced by James Gunn, but was this also like ghost produced by what's his name? The little guy who loves AOC's feet.
The Keebler elf. No, wait, that's that was
Sort of a gnome.
yeah, that was former Attorney General
There we go, Ben Shapiro.
Shapiro. Yes.
Oh, Shapiro.
Yeah.
I love that in a what was meant to be a tweet about how dumb liberals are. He accidentally revealed that him and his wife sleep in separate bedrooms.
Yes. He also tried to own the libs by saying that, like, his wife doesn't have a wet ass pussy when that song had come out. WAP.
Yeah.
And he just self-owned about it. People were just like, stop telling us about your dry ass wife, Ben.
Yeah. I think that he has that effect on women in general.
Yeah.
He has it on me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man. I feel like
He
a
just
fucking
shrivels
raisin
up.
anytime I hear his voice. Yeah.
There's a turtle situation there. All right.
All right. Number 10 at the box office for the week of May 24th, 2019. Journalist Fred Flarsky reunites with his childhood crush, Charlotte Field.
Shit, I just watched this. This is Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen. Where she runs for president.
Oh, this movie. Okay, I remember. I didn't watch this, but I
Running Mates?
No, not Running Mates.
Because he's a journalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, and he doesn't run a lot.
Something Truth.
No, not Truth.
The The dish.
It's the title has to do with your chances of winning a race if you don't have a good chance of winning that race.
Odds,
it's a common phrase.
Bad odds. You got some.
The long shot?
Long shot.
Long
Al
shot.
got it. Long shot.
Yeah, it has a scene of Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen having sex and things I did not know I would ever see.
Right.
It's actually a really cute movie. I was really surprised.
It would just bum me out because it would just remind me of me. That overweight.
It's funny. I identify more with Charlize Theron. So,
yeah, so
what are you doing later?
Well, hey, yeah, we can reenact the scene then.
Peanut butter.
When I think of Charlize Theron, I definitely think of bald with a beard. So
that same. That movie opens with one of my favorite Seth Rogen scenes ever. He's pretending to be a neo-Nazi to infiltrate a neo-Nazi group, and he is trying his best. And it is the funniest situational comedy ever.
How did he pass?
Does it?
Yeah, exactly.
Does it?
He's like, go ahead.
I was just going to say, how does it rank in relation to the Bad Boys 2 KKK scene?
It's up there, bro. It definitely took some inspiration from that scene.
Yeah, I just don't see how a hateful Aryan dude is going to buy that guy's not Jewish.
Yeah.
Right. He just started laughing and everybody went, wait, who are you? Where are you from?
Why does he have bagels? Why not donuts?
He hasn't touched any of our bacon pile. Because that's what they eat at white supremacy meetings, I assume. That's
what I assume.
The proud
whiskey.
The Proud Boys bacon pile. That's constant.
That's what they're so proud of.
Look at all this bacon.
We have more than anyone.
Okay.
Proudly.
Number 9 in the box office top 10. Why is this such a right-wing
I slept out
episode?
last night.
Fuck?
Not for very long. Sorry.
I didn't know we were going to be so political this week. Number 9.
Somebody said Brandon, and it just got me riled up.
That's the only thing I can think of now. I think Brandon's going to see a real dip in Brandon's.
Oh yeah, Brandon's and Karen's are a name of the past.
Absolutely.
Yep. That's fine.
Yeah. Number 9. Oh, I saw there hasn't been a child in Canada named Karen since October 2019.
Canadians are hip, man.
Keeping stats.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Number 9 this week on the box office top 10. A young married couple buy a beautiful house. I will continue on several acres of land.
House on Haunted Hill?
Only to find out that the man they bought it from refuses to let go of the property. Looks like it's a thriller.
Yeah, is Dennis Quaid in this?
No. This stars. He is.
Yeah, he like terrorizes his family.
Yeah, starring Michael Ealy, Megan Good, and Dennis Quaid.
Oh, it's the Dennis Quaid story.
No, it's the Randy Quaid
story.
The Randy Quaid story. Dennis is fairly normal. Randy's the shithouse rat. I think he's still hiding. I think he's still hiding in Canada. Actually.
Yeah.
No cap. Okay. It's called.
It's like a real straightforward, like.
Watching you.
Please leave.
No, it's.
Please leave. The owner.
It's a. Close. It's a the.
The previous tenant.
The escrow attorney.
The man posing as house inspector.
I mean, to be fair, in this housing market, this is kind of a fair tactic to take.
This shit has happened. There was a house that got sold, and you had to leave the guy who lived in the basement. I read that like a month ago.
Yeah, wouldn't
part
it
of the
be
deal?
Crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy to accept somebody's offer and take their money and then squat, then claim squatters' rights and force them to get rid of you? Holy shit! Okay, this is called the Quaid Raid.
It's called The Intruder.
But that involves him intruding. He was already there.
Yes.
He was already there.
He never left.
And that Yeah, and that's not the intruder, folks.
Number 8 on the box office top 10 this week. This is going to take us a while. Two con women, one low rent and the other high class, team up to take down the men who have wronged them. Who is this? Starring Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson. The movies I have never heard of, Alex.
I feel like I've seen the image or the thumbnail.
It's yeah, I don't know. There's going through this, there's been like 30 Rebel Wilson movies from the last 5 years that I've never heard of. Like, wow, she works. It's another the. It has
the ladies.
The plot.
That's close, kind of ish.
The Revenge Pact.
It's called The Hustle.
Kill those motherfuckers. What?
The Hustle.
Oh.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound
so
like,
anticlimactic. Yeah.
Yeah. A better movie should have had that title.
Yeah. Okay. A dog finds the meaning of his own existence through the lives of the humans he meets.
Oh no, they're getting smarter.
Yeah.
Return
by the way. Of the Planet of the Dogs.
The Secret
Tao
Life
Fido.
Ooh. That's catchy too.
Is
it the Secret Life of Pets?
This also stars Dennis Quaid.
No, it doesn't. What?
Dennis Quaid and a dog. Yes. Oh.
And this ranked higher than the one where he was like a spooky dude living in people's basements?
This one, the tagline for this is, some friendships transcend lifetimes. Maybe Dennis Quaid gets reincarnated as a dog or something?
What was that Tim Allen movie where he came back as a dog?
It wasn't a Shaggy Dog remake?
The Shaggy Dog.
Yeah, it was a remake. But wait. Dennis Quaid a dog.
A well-groomed dog?
It's
Turner and Pooch.
It's
live action Oliver.
It's called,
and Randy Quaid is playing Billy Joel's part.
It's called A Dog's Journey. Super heartwarming. This
in between licking its butthole.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's Journey. Yeah, what an epic journey.
Yeah, this next one is really good. On the eve of their high school graduation, two academic superstars and best friends realize they should have worked less and partied more. Determined not to fall short of their peers, the girls try to cram 4 years of fun into one crazy night. I love One Crazy Night movies.
Jonah Hill's little sister, I believe, right?
Is she Jonah Hill's little? Oh my God, she totally is, isn't she? I don't. I know her, but I'd never realized that that's who she was. But I can see it.
I think she goes by a different name. I think he adopted Hill.
Wow.
But anyways, they are, and she's quite funny. But this is called Booksmart.
Booksmart, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's once we should do One Crazy Night movies at some point after we're doing other things besides superheroes.
Oh my God, that's Jonah Hill's sister,
right? I never
Beanie Feldstein.
You can totally see it. Like that's 100% Jonah Hill's sister when I look at her face.
Yeah. And that's totally Jonah Hill's last name.
Yeah.
Not that it matters.
Absolutely.
In the least.
And their father is... Oh no, their brother is
Feldstein.
Jordan Feldstein, who is a producer.
Jordan?
Not Jordan. Coming in at number 5 this week. I'm not even going to try to hide it, but this description. What if a child from another world crash landed on Earth, but instead of becoming a hero to mankind, he proved to be something far more sinister?
Well, that's all you need. You don't even need to see it.
Yeah.
Brandon's Brightburn bash.
In Boise.
Brightburn. Brightburn at number 5 this week. Opening at number 5. At number 4 this week. In a world full of mythical creatures, a boy comes across an intelligent talking one who seeks to become an officer. not an officer, who seeks to become
A gentleman.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say without saying the word that's in the title.
Is this this
wizard?
Fantastic Beasts and where to
No,
grind them?
not those mythical
Beats
creatures.
and where to grind them.
It's
Is that what you
if
said?
it's a different franchise,
That's
it's mythical
dope.
creatures.
Oh, it's
How to drain your dragon? Why
this-
am I making
how to
food
drain
products?
your dragon.
How to drain your dragon in 7 days.
No, is this the one that Percy Jackson or something?
No. This one it stars Ryan Reynolds,
Oh, it's Pokemon Detective Pikachu?
Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu.
DDS.
At number
Sergeant Kabuki Man.
right. At number 3 this week. A man's hard work is undone by a bunch of ungrateful bastards. Endgame, yes.
I was just going to say Endgame before you even said anything. I knew it would still be up here.
Ungrateful.
Is Thanos a man?
I mean, he's
He's a Manos. No, that's
He's like a
hand.
demigod,
yeah, okay, fair
at
enough.
least.
But he is male presenting, which is
He's
what
a
I meant.
space pirate. Male presenting space pirate demigod.
My pronouns are Mad Titan.
At number 2 this week, he's on the run after killing a member of a group and has a $14 million price tag on his head.
What group? One Direction.
If I tell you, it's gonna give away the movie. Yeah.
A group.
It's a
Ocean
BTS.
17?
Yeah. No, not it's
The
not.
Born longevity.
Logistics.
The Born.
The board logistics. He goes into IT after everything's said and done.
It's not a Bourne. It's not an Oceans, but it is a franchise.
Mission Impossible 14.
Not a Mission Impossible.
Is it Mission Impossible?
It's not a Mission Impossible.
Oh, is this a Bond?
It's not a
Fast and
Bond.
Furious?
It's not a Fast and
Fast-
Furious.
Jesus.
Is it Jesus?
Transformers, the Jesus edition.
What hint can I give you? That's not. It's a newer franchise that began in the mid 2010s, 20 teens.
What is it again?
Ass.
It's the third. The subtitle to it is Parabellum.
Oh, is this the oh god, Maze Runner or something?
It's John Wick 3.
Oh, Parabellum?
John Wick 3 Parabellum.
John Wick 3
Is that where you press so that the P doesn't come out after your...
The bib. All right.
And opening at number 1 this week. Oh boy. The world's favorite slapper is in front of a lot of blue screen.
Flapper. Oh, Will Smith
Is helping out a kid whose
Is this
name
After
is
Earth?
No.
Or no? What was that called? With his son, right?
Yeah,
After
that's
Earth,
not this
right?
one.
No.
Marathon Man? No, not Marathon Man. What do they call that shit? It's something man.
No. So he plays a comedic role and a terrible, terrible fake beard.
Will Smith is Santa Claus?
Austin Powers.
Slapping his way through the holidays?
This is a
Slapping his
remake of
way
a
through
far
all.
better movie.
Fake beard.
One of many
Pass.
remakes that this studio made of their earlier, far better movies. It takes
Gone with the
place.
beard.
It takes place in a somewhat racist, stylized version of the Middle East.
This isn't.
I'm out.
This isn't the movie with the fantasy creatures, is it?
No. This is. You guys give up?
Yeah, tell us.
Yes.
Aladdin.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I forget that he was.
I forgot as well.
That he was Aladdin. Yeah, I think we all tried to forget
also
that.
Played Aladdin.
Yeah. See, it's like when your brain protects you from trauma and things.
Yes.
I forgot that was a thing.
That's considered to be an Uncanny Valley thing, right? His genie.
Oh, it's
Like the character design. I didn't see it. I was not interested.
I just saw
The image I saw. I never saw the movie.
and it was not cool. It was not cool looking at all. That is our box office top 10 this week. This has no comic book background. It was fresh.
Does it now? Has it influenced comic books? Has anybody made like a tie-in or anything?
Let's
I don't know.
see. There is I don't see anything.
It's a part of the Downton Abbey universe, isn't it?
I'd
Where
pay to
the
watch
country
that.
manor. I have no idea what any of that's about.
Well, they are potentially talking about a sequel to it, but I can't see anything about it being in film or in comics. I mean, they did say that the half man, half sea creature terrorizing the seas is that they mentioned at the end that Michael Rooker mentioned. That ties it into Super. This is technically a sequel to Super with Rainn Wilson. We did it. We did like a year ago. Yeah.
It is?
Yep.
I want to see Rainn Wilson fight this kid with a wrench. Not in the movie, just like on the streets.
It's weird that there's two actors from The Office in this, and it's supposedly a sequel to Dwight's movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it was related to that film.
That's what James Gunn has said.
I'll take him at his word.
Yeah.
It's his universe. That makes sense why they hung it on him being the executive producer in the trailers too, because he's the only name that you see before anything happens.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Writers and directors are after the entire trailer. So
Yeah, exactly. Our director is David Yarovesky. David
Yarovesky.
where everyone gets a Vesky.
I've been taking an antibiotic for it. Okay.
It's a cream.
This was his first big. This was his first big directing credit. He's since then. I guess technically he directed The Hive, which was a Nerdist production.
Like the website?
Yes. Yeah.
The company,
Since then, he's directed something called Night Books, which is a straight-to-Netflix film.
Night Books.
Starring
Working on my night books.
Which looks like it's a kids in peril movie. Don't get a lot of those. It's like looks like kids discover a spell book, and then Kristen Ritter's a witch who's trying to get him.
Yeah, I'd like to watch Kristen Ritter play a witch.
I'd like to watch Kristen Ritter do most anything, especially choke to death or vomit.
I hope she gets those lookies.
Yeah. Our writers though are Brian and Mark Gunn. We got two Guns. Neither are the good one.
Three guns is a 3-gun salute.
How much do you think that James Gunn actually did any lifting for this, or was it just a favor lending his name?
I imagine he had some like vague, like, what do you think? And like some vague kind of suggestion at like early in the process, but I doubt he was hands on in any way. Like it doesn't.
Because I mean, he's done both horror and superhero movies, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was involved. But it just seemed very like we need him for cash.
He was married to Jenna Fisher. That's another thing.
Holy shit, he was married to Jenna Fisher, and his current wife is in this movie.
That's where all of the Office connections come from.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with her. He probably like that. Spielberg would do that often. Yeah. Sometimes he would ghost direct behind Robert Zemeckis or Joe Dante. Well, yeah, he would come up with an idea and be like, I'm not going to make Gremlins, but somebody should make Gremlins.
Well, and I wonder if maybe he was more hands-on with like action stuff or something like that because he had a lot of experience shooting that kind of thing.
That could be.
Superhero action.
Yeah, but
lending his Disney experience to this.
Yeah, the magic of Disney.
Let's see. But anyways, which gun is which? Brian is James's brother, and Mark is their cousin.
Oh,
and they have a brother named Sean. We know.
Yes, and
who wasn't in this? Surprisingly,
weirdly, you would have thought.
Once I saw Michael Rooker, it made me think like, damn, we're missing some of the James Gunn players,
right?
We need all the guns.
Yeah.
We need all of the guns.
Brian and Mark are a team. They are a screenwriting team. They together wrote the movie Together from 2000. Wow. Oh,
they say right where you know.
Oh, it's a
like, we're together right now.
Oh, that's a
Stuckies.
That's a mockumentary about a fake boy band. They also wrote the sequel to Bring It On Again in 2004. Real creative titling there. Yeah. The new batch.
They should have called it Bring It Back.
Yeah, they should have.
And they wrote the sequel to The Mysterious Island, Journey 2. And then
The Mysterious Island.
Yeah. That's all their credits outside of Brightburn. Our cast includes Elizabeth Banks. We have talked about her before, haven't we? She was in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All the Spider-Mans.
Yeah, she was definitely in that. I feel like something else, but yeah.
Oh, the 2017 Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's it.
Says she was.
She
in
was
that,
Rita, right?
Yeah, she was Rita Repulsa.
Rita Repulsa.
Yeah. We've talked about Elizabeth Banks before. We've strangely talked about David Denman before. Also from the 2017 Power Rangers movie. He was the dad in that.
Wow.
Power Rangers.
Roy.
Yeah.
And these guys weren't involved with Power Rangers at all? It's not the same production or anything?
Nothing.
Involved with.
Their Power Ranger.
She was
affiliated?
dating the Green Ranger at this time.
Yeah.
Is the Green Ranger male? It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
No, it doesn't. Jackson A. Dunn plays Brandon. That kid. Well, he was creepy. I
thought he was great, honestly, for being a kid in this role. He did what he was supposed to do.
He was in Endgame. He played when Scott got de-aged to a child.
Oh,
he's baby Scott Lang.
Not baby Scott Lang, kid.
not baby.
Yeah,
kids.
teenager Scott Lang.
Yeah.
They're all babies.
Yeah.
Once they're under 20 at this point.
Huh.
Yeah. Huh. So
crazy.
Yeah. Let's see. He was on Glow for an episode or so. He did a lot of TV, kid and TV show kind of stuff. He was in the Get Shorty TV series. So weird. And Shameless.
That was actually pretty good.
I haven't watched
hadn't
it yet.
seen it. Yeah.
Huh.
Matt Jones playing Noah, the uncle, Badger.
Recovered Badger.
Yeah.
A recovered badger. What'd you guys find? We recovered a badger.
All right.
Maybe leave it.
Let's see. He was in. Oh wow. He was in Red State. As far as on the big screen goes, not the little screen.
He has such a cool voice.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's in. He does a voice in the upcoming Snorks animated film.
Are you shitting me?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Things that don't need to be made.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it.
And I bet they're going to do it Smurfs style, like Uncanny Valley. So, like they're not going to be 2D animation.
Wait, no. It came out in 2021. It already exists.
It happened?
Please tell me it's like live action or something really bad.
I'm Googling it now.
This is a snork catastrophe.
Snorks 2021.
Snorks was where there was only one male snork and the rest of them were female snorks, right? And they were purple. All I remember is their noses were like trumpet horns, right?
No, their heads.
Oh, their heads were
meant to look like, I don't know, scuba tube, but they look like horns.
Yeah. No, I don't think
What's a scuba tube? What is that called? Snorkel.
I don't think it's been released yet.
Yeah.
Someone just hasn't updated Wikipedia.
Scuba tube.
But it's been pushed back. I don't know if it's like not getting made at this point, but yeah, someone just didn't update Wikipedia. So as far as TV goes, of course, Breaking Bad is what he's probably best well known for. I could say he was on The Office. He was the weed guy in the Key and Peele first episode. I forgot.
Oh yeah.
He played Humpty Dumpty in Beware the Batman animated, or the 2013-2014 Beware the Batman series. He does a voice on F is for Family. So yeah, he's Badger. He's just Badger as far as I'm concerned. I keep wondering if he lost weight since then, or if standing next to Skinny Pete just made him look that much heavier.
I think it was just him standing next to Skinny Pete because that dude is wire thin.
Yeah. Meredith Hagner as Merrily, the sister. I know her best from Search Party. What else has she been in? She has a lot of small film credits. She was in Horse Girl, that Alison Brie movie. Ingrid Goes West, bunch of little indie movies she did throughout the last 10 years. Oh, she started out playing Liberty Ciccone on As the World Turns for 164 episodes.
Damn.
Which I would like to point out was 1.5 seasons, according to this.
Holy shit.
Soap operas were, man.
There's General Hospital has over 15,000 episodes.
Yeah, they were a force to be reckoned with.
It's been on since like 55 or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's people who started being on that show as children, grew into adults, and are now old on that show. Like,
it's a living.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Could you imagine your entire life being on General Hospital or something like that? Like, wow.
Your whole life. I remember when Sarah Michelle Gellar was on All My Children.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It was good. Kendall.
Yeah. Let's see. She was in Royal Pains. Huh. Let's see. She did a lot of TV work. She was in a couple episodes of Veep. So she does some voices on Bob's Burger now and again. She plays the mermaid in Disenchantment. So yeah, I like her. I think she's really good in Search Party. Let's see. Becky Wallstrom plays Erica O'Connor, the waitress, the diner waitress.
The girl's
pirate.
Mom?
Yeah. Let's see. She's been on Star Trek Enterprise, Mad Men, Charmed, Judging Amy. She mostly does TV work. Lots of 24, Cold Case, CSI, Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
All that kind of shit.
She looked familiarly unfamiliar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her first credit ever, she was in the 1992 Dolly Parton movie Straight Talk.
Oh my God, Straight Talk. That song. James Woods.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Fucking James
Hey,
Woods.
it's a right-wing episode of the show. Let's talk about James Woods.
Let's talk about him too.
Creepy ass Hades.
Fucking James Woods. So yeah, that's covers most of our cast. Oh wait, I guess the sheriff. We should talk about the sheriff. Gregory Allen Williams is Sheriff Deaver.
Yeah, he's worked. He's worked a lot.
Yeah, that dude's been around a while. His first, his first credits on TV. Jack and Mike. He played. Oh, he was in the main cast of Baywatch. He played Officer Garner Ellerby. Huh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Somebody had to.
For 9 years. Wow. Yeah. As far as movies go, let's see. He was in Above the Law in 1988. That's Steven Seagal. He was in Major League. He was in the Alf movie, the 1996 Alf movie.
Was he like a batting coach in Major League? I think that's where I recognized him from.
He was a bullpen guard, it says.
So pitching coach.
Yeah. He was in Old School. More recently, he was in MacGruber, the MacGruber movie. And nothing especially. He was in Terminator Genesis. Ugh, that one was fucking terrible. And yeah, that's it. He's a character actor. Does a lot of that stuff. So, and then of course we had a cameo from Michael Rooker at the end. His character's name was Big T.
Or Skinny Alex Jones.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And Steve G.
Oh yeah,
I forgot.
He was one of the buddies
for 30 fabulous seconds. Was in the movie,
and no beard.
Yeah. So that's it. That's our cast. That's the production. I don't know, guys. You ready to just start talking about this movie?
Yes, please.
Yeah, drop it from outer orbit and we will raise it.
This is Brightburn. We open on a farmhouse. The mailbox reads Briar. We meet Tori and Kyle. They're having trouble conceiving. In the woods at the edge of their farm, a meteor crashes.
They are in the process of trying to conceive a baby.
Yeah, they're about to get busy, as the kids say.
Yeah, they're just going to fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and they're like discussing, are we going to try and have a baby?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to have fun. No, but I also want a baby. Like, okay, cool.
All right.
Just
make sure you're not on top, and then you won't get pregnant. They will.
The problem was they weren't playing any baby making music.
That's true.
Barry White goes a long way.
Yeah.
Well, they're out in the country, so it'd be like Conway Twitty or something. So some inbred baby making music.
They're having trouble conceiving. We got to that. Then they cut to a montage of the baby growing into a toddler. We get the home movies. Then the card reads 10 years later. Tori's looking for Brandon, the kid. He's hiding in the barn. She finds him, and he's warned by his parents that he shouldn't be playing in the barn. It's dangerous out there.
Maybe they should make the barn safer. Or honestly, maybe they should make the barn more dangerous. That would be my.
I don't know. I've never seen a safe barn. I don't know how you do it. I think a safe barn is a house.
Yeah, that's fair. Or Amish built. Those guys, craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Fantastic barn.
I have to assume that they make their money from this farm, but the farm doesn't seem to actually have. We don't see them farming. Like they don't They've got a chicken coop, they've got a barn, and they got some hay.
It's like the Kents though, where you're like, oh, they're farmers. What the fuck do they grow?
Right? Cheerio farmers.
Yeah. Is it wheat or is it corn? At least
there were fields of corn next to the Kent house and a lot of things. Yeah. This was just a farmhouse. We have to assume the job.
And they hunt a lot.
Yeah, they do a lot of hunting. There's a wolf, apparently. That's
a wolf. The wolf. Sorry, not a wolf.
Are there wolves in Kansas, by the way?
I don't know. Are they in Kansas? Do we know? Do they ever mention?
I know that they have coyotes. Sorry, Al. Go ahead.
They are in Kansas. Yes. Wolves have recently returned to Kansas.
And they're out for blood.
It's because the rent in Idaho has just gone through the fucking roof.
Fucking wolves gentrifying Kansas. Yeah. In school, we discover Brandon is smart. Some random kid starts.
I don't know if Brandon's smart because they're pretty old to be learning that bees live in hives.
Yes, they are.
Pollinate flowers.
A random kid picks on him because it's a movie and you got to have a bully.
And the teacher was, what's her name? From Jen Holland, I think, from Peacemaker.
Oh, it's Marilyn.
And Suicide Squad. And married to James Gunn.
Oh, okay.
I think they're married. I don't know. Maybe they're doing it out of wedlock, those sinners. This is our right-wing episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same characters. Interesting. But yeah, the kid who's picking on him, he literally says, "Why are you always talking about maggots?"
I know. This comes up a lot.
That is definitely a thing a kid would say to another kid.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was one of my moments where I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this feels real. This feels real enough. He's obsessed with
this kid's horny for maggots.
Like with the predator relationship too. Like that's the thing that young kids, young kids get into.
Right. Yeah.
Obsessed with lions or whatever, bugs.
Yeah.
Insects. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharks.
He's grown out of the dinosaur phase and into like, well, what's real?
And you know what's real? Maggots. Wasps.
Maggots.
That's it.
Yeah. So the pretty girl.
He's not wrong.
Pretty girl is nice to him.
The wasp thing is important.
Yeah, I mean it's an analogy for the whole film, like the predator wasp and then the hive bees that are more docile.
And the one species he says in particular has lost its ability to make nests, so it makes other wasp species raise their young.
Right, and that's
it's a metaphor for why he's on the planet.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we have to. Yeah, well, I guess we'll get there. It doesn't matter. It's not like there's a lot deep in this film. At home,
it's symbolism.
It is.
It's there.
There's
it's
symbolism.
Present.
There's analogy. Nothing in this film is like. It's not god awful. It's just like, this is real. Like, it's not bad screenwriting or anything. It's just this is real. I don't know.
The execution, just yeah.
Plain. It was as plain as the oatmeal his dad was making. I want to know. Go ahead, Al.
Oh, I was just going to say the line that the girl says to him is also foretelling. Smart guys end up ruling the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not his wits though.
No.
But yeah.
Well, and at this moment, she's like, oh, they have a connection.
Yeah.
Which little kids, they connect, whatever. But then it's like, this crumbles.
Right.
As soon as he starts being creepy, naturally.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as he starts being like, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. Incel vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand when he was going to find time to get his journalism degree. What's he going to do?
Well, he types really fast. Faster than Lois Lane even.
That's right. Yep. So at home that night after bedtime, Tori is painting. So we've got a farm with no crops, and she's a painter. And apparently she likes the Ramones. That's what we know.
And paintings of cows.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah.
But we don't see cows, dairy cows particularly, but yeah, we don't see them.
Maybe they had them and they lost.
The only animals we see on this farm are the chickens, and there's not that many. They've got like a dozen.
No, that's like an urban chicken coop amount.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a farm number at all. You couldn't sell those eggs at a farmer's market anymore.
No, like, what's our yield today, Ma? 6.
Yeah, enough for breakfast. Like,
yeah. But yeah, no other animals.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions about the economy of this county in general because of, but anyways, Brightburn County. So the barn starts glowing red. Weird electronic noises begin. Brandon hears them. He says some weird alien stuff and jumps out his window. Then seems to be sleepwalking. Tori, hearing a noise, investigates. She finds him in the barn, trying to open up a chained up trap door. She wakes him up.
This is the scariest part of the movie to me. Him shaking the door, mumbling. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All the stuff after that was just kind of gory for gory's sake.
Yeah. It's very James Gunn.
Yeah. Let's see. So she wakes him up. He doesn't remember anything. She decides not to talk about their alien child's weird behavior with the only other person in the entire world who knows he's an alien.
Why are they keeping secrets from each other?
Why?
Right.
Why? Constantly. Like, this is something they like day one. Okay, we found an alien baby. What are the ground rules we're setting for how we approach this, since we are apparently intend on keeping the alien baby.
Well, and
raising it as a human.
Papa Roy says to her, he's never bled at some point later on in the movie.
Yeah.
Not
you
once.
know he is very durable,
right?
At bare minimum.
Yeah, there's something weird with this alien child that you found in the woods. So maybe you really need to be on the same page no matter what.
It doesn't matter, but did you get the feeling that he had exhibited anything when he was younger?
I mean, other than him saying he's never bled or broken a bone or never been cut, like it seems like they've kind of, it felt like puberty was bringing on the powers, but he had always been unable to be hurt.
Invulnerable. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, like mutants.
Yeah.
The puberty thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Start sprouting hair and other things start happening.
Oh my God, that conversation.
Yeah, we'll get there.
For real. Wow.
The next day we explore the question, what if Pa Kent had candy instead of wisdom, values, and the will to impart them?
White sugar. That's the real villain of this movie.
Yeah, that's right. If they had just raised him on like organic, like agave syrup.
Vegetable.
Yeah.
They would have turned him into a soy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon then discovers he can't be hurt and is very strong while trying to start the lawnmower. No one apparently ever asks him what became of the lawnmower.
Or the finished lawn. They are bad parents, Thoreau.
They're terrible parents.
No boundaries.
No
observation of his behavior.
No communication.
Nobody's watching anybody.
Yeah.
They don't they don't follow up on anything. Like this is just bad parenting start to finish.
I will say I was kind of confused as he walked up to the lawnmower. I was like, he's going to put his hand in it. He's going to put his hand in it. And then he did it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, this drama for drama's sake. But that was a neat visualization of like, oh, wow. That's very durable.
Yes. I would also
the voices telling him too. Like
later on when he deciphers what the voices are
here.
saying.
Here.
Yeah, before we hear the voice.
I don't think he deciphers it at this point. Like I don't think
he doesn't decipher it, but the voice is compelling him to put his hand in.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was still kind of Swedish Chef arble garbling at him.
Yeah. I don't know what it was saying, but it definitely seemed to be urging him to do stuff.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah. Yeah, so that night, I guess it's his birthday. He goes to his happy birthday, son, mow the lawn. Bad parents. At his birthday party, they go to the diner. It
looks like an old Wendy's. Do you remember those old Wendy's with the like garden?
Yeah.
Room?
Yeah.
Sunroom. I just don't have good words today.
He has no friends.
None.
Whatsoever.
No friends. No.
So he's talking about maggots. That's his own.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
you sowed your own poison.
And not to say that there's always a kid for another kid, but like these kids find friends. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
you find somebody who would like your parents would have friends. They'd be like, we're bringing our friends with their kids to the birthday party. Their only friends are their family.
Yeah.
This town is so small. It drives me.
I know, but
bonkers.
In a small town, even the unpopular kids end up hanging out with somebody.
Yeah.
I know, but it speaks again to that Clark Kent thing that like he's from another planet. Like he looks like us. And it's very easy to think he is us, but he's weird.
Yeah, he's fucking weird, and
he's weird, and you don't know if he cares about you or not as a concept.
I think this really like lends itself to their bad parents, and that's why all of this happened.
Yeah.
Thing. To me, that is the missed opportunity in this movie is really leaning on that and saying it's their fault that he had no guidance and was turned by the Swedish Chef arble garbling at him the whole time.
When watching it second time for my notes, I realized this whole thing can be read as an analogy for right-wing terrorist mass shooters.
Oh, he doesn't give his son a gun because he's 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's very on the nose. Like,
and then takes him hunting in the next scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Which
you don't.
He's been taking him, probably most of his life, but just an odd,
But part of that experience when parents take their kids hunting is like, you're going to get to shoot. I'm going to give you the gun to shoot. You're going to learn responsibility about the gun. But he's very like, no, you're going to come with me and watch me shoot.
Yeah.
You're going to learn to track.
We're going to talk about our wangs.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So he gets the gun from his uncle and aunt. His dad says no. Another situation where they're not on the same page because Elizabeth Banks is like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Right. Or on the same page as anybody.
Yeah.
Look, if I bought my niece a gun and I hadn't talked to my sister about it, and then I let her open it in front of everyone, and she really wanted it, like, that's psycho shit.
None of these people communicate well.
Yeah,
you don't do that to a.
Yeah, and absolutely. And again, if the kid is an alien you found in the woods, you really want to make sure you're on the same fucking page.
That's right. And double down on that.
I would have really enjoyed them having a conversation. Badger and Roy, I don't know these people's names, saying like, "Hey man, why'd you buy him a gun? Why didn't you ask me? Come on, I need you to help me." He doesn't have friends. Yeah. That conversation would have carried a lot of water for the whole thing. Instead, we just got like, well, I'll take you hunting, boy, and we'll talk about our dicks.
Yeah. Okay, so
also that gun doesn't show back up again in the movie.
Yeah, we see him putting it away, but like it doesn't factor into the plot in any way whatsoever.
The wife should have grabbed it and opened the box in the last act or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a missing thread because there's a gun. Literally.
Yeah. We literally have Chekhov's gun, but we never use it. Yeah. So they get home after leaving the diner early. This is where we first see the waitress. So I thought, okay. We see later on that she owns apparently a house and is like a single parent.
Mm-hmm.
On a small town waitress salary. I thought she owned the diner. No. I thought she owned the diner. Later on, they refer to her as that waitress that works at that diner.
So she's not the proprietor.
She's not the proprietor. She is just a waitress.
The farmhouse was in her family for generations.
That's fair. Fair enough. She's just paying property taxes, I guess.
Okay. I could buy that.
Small town, they're good tippers.
Yeah, that's what I've found.
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's very optimistic.
So let's see. They get home. Brandon goes to bed. His parents spend some time together being bad parents. Decide to go camping that weekend.
Don't they fuck on the couch?
Yeah, they're looking to fool around yet again.
Yeah.
Like they have a bedroom. They're like in the public room in their house. They are bad parents.
They're bad parents. Yeah. The next morning, Kyle finds Brandon eating a fork. And instead of the sound and the
teeth stuff just fucks me up. Nothing gives me the cringes like teeth. Shit.
This is another thing. This and the barn, the sound, his face as he's like kind of shook from his whatever coma trance,
fugue.
Thing. Yeah. That was spooky to me. These are like spooky. Yeah. They're not human. They're otherworldly moments.
Yeah. But instead of telling his wife about it, he gets distracted immediately. They freak out over some Victoria's Secret catalog pages they find under his bed while being completely unworried about the interest he's shown in evisceration.
Right. She's like, is this a guy thing?
And he's like,
what?
No, but let's not think about it.
Wouldn't you have called your sister, who's the school psychologist at that point, and said like, hey, I really need you to talk to my son. He is interested in girls and the insides of their
because
bodies.
Apparently
I would make that call at some point, but I would first go find my son with my husband and we'd sit down and we'd say, these pictures from these magazines, absolutely normal. Would you explain some of these images to us, Brandon?
Instead, they're just like, oh, weird. Oh, well.
Oh, well, we know he's from another planet and he wants to see how human beings work from the inside. Okay, let's go camping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bad Parents, the movie, the horror movie.
Oh, my God. While hunting with Brandon out camping, Kyle gives him the talk. He's terrible at it. and completely fails to factor in the fact that Brandon is a fucking alien.
Right. And
Okay.
Brandon, realistically, Brandon's like, now? Like, you mean right now? And the dad is, first of all, just horrified. And he's like, not now. But doesn't bother to tell him, like, where is it appropriate to jerk off? I
Yes.
think a lot of men were not told to where.
Right.
Is what I've seen in the world.
And he is bold enough to say the word penis to the boy,
Yeah.
Right.
but not to go any further than that. Like, damn, man.
I have,
Well, no, you take the time to talk about how normal it is and how there's nothing wrong with him. And then he asks that innocent question, like, do you mean now? He's all, whoa, bro.
yeah.
Just like immediately insults him.
As
Why are you always talking about maggots, bro?
I'm a dad. I had 2 boys. I've had the talk twice with them. It's one of the core principles of the talk is like, it's all cool. Touch yourself. There's nothing bad. You do it alone in private. That's a big portion of the talk is letting
That's a
them know.
big part of it.
Letting them know that it's not something you want to do in public or around other people or subject other people to.
Yep.
The line, did you ever use throw? The completely ambiguous line, you're going to have certain urges. It's okay to give in to them now and again.
Yeah.
And-
okay.
And yes, and they replied, "Oh, you mean eviscerating people?"
Yeah. I want to see your insides and how they work.
He's crazy about murdering. Yeah,
Like,
it
if-
is.
If this conversation had happened prior to them discovering the evisceration, it would have been okay.
Right, but it was immediately following.
Like, damn.
They
Like-
they completely ignored the evisceration. It was like, "Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Guess we shouldn't think
It's just-
about it."
It's
Are there
clumsy
any-
writing. Like, I get they were trying
Very
to do
clumsy.
that, but like, they're and like, if you're trying to show that they're bad parents, sure, but like, damn, these are also human characters.
Well, there's so many ways to do it. You could just, are there any girls in your class that you think are cute? Oh yeah, this one girl. Oh, what do you like about her? She has a pretty smile. I like her hair.
I
you
like
you
her
ask
bedroom.
you ask discovery questions until he gets to, I wonder what a liver feels like in your hand.
Right.
So the very first urge he has and thinks is okay to act upon is to go stalk Caitlin in her bedroom.
I read
Right,
it as
you're right,
him
Al.
floating outside the window and masturbating while watching her in bed.
No,
That's what I read it as.
Well, and also
There-
underlying is the killing, like that. I don't know. Like
I didn't even
you're going to
read
have
it.
urges. You're going to
Like
have
the-
urges.
The peeping Tom out the window thing throw that hurt my brain right
Because
now.
she's looking out the window
Oh,
and
yeah.
like then she's like, "Oh, I saw Brandon." Like, yeah.
Because he didn't.
He was in the bedroom. He was just behind the curtain.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, he was outside
But the window was
and then
open.
inside the bedroom, and then
Right.
outside the window again.
Yeah.
But
It was following that. So again, he didn't tell him where it was okay to jerk off. And so he immediately went.
yeah, because that's what he meant. Now, should I go to her house and jerk off looking at her now? That's what he meant
Yeah.
when he asked now.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the urge he had that dad just told him it was okay to give into.
And dad was armed with the information that he likes women in lingerie and the insides of humans. Any urges are fine, son. You're going to get urges.
They're all cool.
They're all cool.
Just go with the flow, bro.
And anywhere. Just pretend you're talking about maggots. Just anywhere, man.
Back at the campground, his parents discover Brandon missing, but he shows back up. They write it off. He goes missing so often, and they're always just like, "Oh, you're safe. Let's not look any further into this."
They write it off so much.
Yeah, I'd put a tracking device on this kid.
So,
Yeah.
put an air tag on him. Yeah,
in
for
his
sure.
shoe or something.
Yeah.
He's still wearing those red
Yeah,
shoes. all the
or
time.
like smother him or like bury him underneath the ground.
Call,
Seriously.
yeah, like call the government and get
Yeah,
the
literally
alien
call
you
the
found
feds.
to the government.
Yeah, he keeps disappearing at night. Yeah, we need to we need to shake this loose.
Be like, honey, did you lose track of the alien we found in the woods again?
I was sleeping.
The sleeping too. So often Roy's asleep and like she's up, like finding the most horrendous things happening. And he's like, "What's going on? I fell asleep 2 minutes after the last horrendous thing that happened."
Well, and the one time that he is awake in the middle of the night, he doesn't tell her what the hell he saw.
Yeah.
Because then they
He
could have
has a
corroborated
dream
their
sequence.
stories. Oh, and that dream sequence. Ooh.
Yeah. So, all right, the next day at school, his mom talks to his aunt. Doesn't mention the eviscerating. She's also the school counselor. She asks for advice about Brandon's weird behavior, but the aunt's like, it's puberty.
Yeah, it's normal.
Which she has moments of being awful at her job and being pretty on point later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this
She
character
has strong ethics.
is mishandled because she could have done some heavy lifting for the story.
Yeah.
And the ideas they're trying to get across.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, very, very mishandled. His mom spots him writing a creepy symbol in his notebook, which he doesn't want her to see. Another red flag that got ignored. That night, Brandon murders all the chickens. His dad freaks out.
With his 11 herbs and spices.
Yes.
Well, at first, he doesn't just murder the chickens. Dad catches him staring at the chickens, and the chickens are losing their minds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he was
And
just
then-
having a good chicken stare.
And then he's gone.
And then he finds the chicken.
They're all roasted.
And then he finds the chickens are all dead.
Like, not just dead, but like torn to pieces. Yeah. And his
But not torn to delicious pieces.
no.
All of the wrong pieces.
Yeah.
He's all the times a dead chicken.
If I had laser vision, I would be frying chickens in my hand, man.
All the time, man. All the
I'd be like,
time.
ooh, a chicken wing. I'm going to eat this one right now. Salt, pepper, spicy stuff. Like, I'm on it.
Lay down in this flour, chicken.
You just shake the feathers off with your super strength. Man,
Yeah.
Superman should open a chicken shack.
All the chicken possibilities.
That Superman failed to take advantage of.
No, they didn't, because there's KFC ads in Superman movies and Popeye ads.
That's right.
Supergirl movies. I think they had it unlocked. We just didn't know.
So yeah, mom writes this all off again. She's like, dead chickens. It's a wolf. The wolf.
It's the wolf. Every time it's mentioned. It's
You mean
the wolf.
Harvey Keitel?
Of Wall Street or just the wolf? He lives 2 houses down. We got a restraining order, but he just gets drunk.
Yeah. They once again fail to factor in that they are raising an alien they found in the wood who is currently displaying antisocial behavior.
Folks, if you find a baby in the woods abandoned,
In a
just
spaceship,
leave it.
especially in a spaceship.
Let nature
say-
take its course.
Let nature take its course.
Which I have a question about that.
Circle of life.
This creature from outer space, this alien, came to Earth under the direct genetic mission to take the planet.
Yeah, it seems so, yes.
As an infant child, do they need to eat to survive? Would he have just survived in that capsule until he had gestated until he was a teenager to do this stuff? Would that have
I don't
happened
know.
faster if he stayed in the tube?
It's
We didn't see it, but he was a naked alien baby. 'Cause
Yeah.
She picks him up and she's like, it's a boy.
It's entirely possible that the ship has something that directs them towards technology, electricity on a planet or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Celestials.
Because Superman didn't have any of the trappings of that. He was Moses put in the river,
Yeah.
picked up, by the Pharaoh's wife. That's the idea.
You got
Well,
the feeling.
common man's
You got the
wife, I
feeling
guess.
that baby Superman would have walked out and been like, been fine.
Yeah, yeah. He'd be like, y'all do sandwiches on your planet? He's a normal kid. This kid is a killing, conquering device.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the next day in gym, Brandon gets bullied again because it's a movie.
What game is that? The trust fall game?
Yeah.
Where they're pushing each other around, they're bullying each other into falling over?
Yeah.
No,
Not
you're sort of
falling.
Well, you have to keep the person moving. If you put your hands down, potentially they would fall is the idea.
It's such a weird version of the trust fall, because the trust fall game is fall and I will catch you.
Yeah.
This is, we're going to push you around in a circle.
On the
And no
track and
one's gonna-
field course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's rubber.
Why aren't they in the
generally.
grass? Why weren't they
Play.
doing that in the grass if they were going to do
Yeah.
it?
But if I were a parent, I'd be like, this game, my kid told me that you were putting him in the middle of a circle and the kids were pushing him around. Maybe we shouldn't play that fucking game because my kid's getting bullied already.
Yeah.
Like, please
maybe
stop.
you should mind your own chickens.
Yeah, because my kid will eat your skin.
Yes. Yeah. So, Brandon gets bullied. He falls down. Pretty girl doesn't want to touch him because of the weird creeping shit from last night.
And it's her fault that he fell.
Yes, it's her fault he fell. Yeah,
Yes.
She like jumped out of the way.
It's his fault that he fell.
Well, yes. Yeah.
He was jerking off outside her window.
Yeah, she liked him. If he hadn't jerked off
Gravity's fault.
outside her window, they may have been able to form a bond.
Well, and
She wanted to be his friend.
she's a weird kid. She's got a streak of color in her hair. She's the symbolic weird kid in the class who understands him.
Yeah.
And in a single instant, they lose that connection.
She could have been she was the Lana. She was going to be his Lana if he had had not terrible parents.
No, but instead he was the weirdo who's like, "Hey, you were nice to me yesterday. Do you want to be my girlfriend?"
Can I jerk us off outside your window?
Right?
Well, you don't have to ask that one.
His
Better
parents
not
are,
to.
his parents are obviously sex positive, I guess. I don't know what else to call it. Like they're getting it on when they can, kind of thing.
Yeah, they're not prudish
open with
about it in any way. They're not like sex
Yeah.
is
No.
evil.
They describe their past like they were in a Cheap Trick song.
Yeah, they're not scooching two beds together. They're doing it on the living room couch.
Yeah.
But they're not
Right.
able to talk to him about these things.
Where?
They're not able to talk to him about anything.
Well, and I mean, like,
True.
also,
That's true.
this is the time when in a young alien male presenting man's life that you say you're going to have
Good
urges
Lord.
to have sex with things, but it might not work the way you want because you're not from this planet, dude.
We don't know what comes out of your penis.
Right. Maybe it's the things from Avatar. I don't know.
Yeah.
He just rides a human being around.
Oh God. So the girl's mom, who's the waitress, is understandably upset. The sheriff won't arrest Brandon, but
He broke her hand.
he broke her hand. Yes.
He completely smashed her hand.
Yeah, just
Crushed
crushed
it,
it.
yeah.
And it's like, that's not something a normal 12-year-old can do to another 12-year-old. Just
But
break
his
their bones.
mom is like, everyone's overreacting.
Mm-hmm.
It was an accident, Erica. They're kids.
Like, no.
I was on Erica's
You
side.
you can't accidentally crush another kid's hand when you're a skinny 12-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
you can't.
What is he, a mafioso and a hammer?
Right.
Jesus Christ. It's not an accident.
He gets suspended from school and has to do counseling with his aunt. At home that night, Tori finally tells Kyle that he was in the barn when he was sleepwalking. They finally discuss his weird alien powers, but again, don't really go anywhere with it. They're like, this seems like it might be bad. Should we do something? I'm just going to bed.
Puberty.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bed. We'll throw back some cool ones, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Later that night, the barn begins glowing red again, making some sounds at Brandon. In his sleep, he begins talking in the alien language. He figures out the voice is telling him to take the world. He goes out to the barn and rips open the trap door. Tori sees the glow through the window, follows him out, finding him floating above the open trap door.
Red flag.
Yeah, this is the point where you really want to get Kyle on board with it.
Or take him to the pediatrician. Something.
Or
Something.
call a priest.
Or
know?
a priest.
Be like, oh, you have the
Whatever.
power of
Some old
flight.
country.
Yeah, you have the power of flight. She discovers he has the power of flight at this point. Like,
We're not scientists, Doc. Explain it. He can fly.
so he awakens from his trance. He falls into the trap door where the spaceship is. He cuts himself on a sharp edge of the spaceship. It's the first time he's ever been cut. Tori tells him the truth about where he came from. He gets angry, runs into the house, breaking things and screaming. Kyle and Tori do nothing. Like, what do they do? Because we just stay with Brandon at this point as he goes on a murderous rampage. And what did they do when Kyle left the house? Or
They had
Brandon
sex on
left the
couch.
house. Yeah.
Let's
Like
get
what were
it
they doing?
on.
Like, he just found out he's an alien. Better not talk to him or know where he is the rest of the night.
Yeah. Or keep an eye on him.
Like the fuck.
This is when the movie completely falls apart.
Like that just made me, their parenting made me so angry because it's so beyond like being bad parents. Like they're willfully like trying to do the worst possible job they can.
Well, because the plot needed them to do that is what it felt like, which
Yeah.
sucks because like, damn, they've done a really good job of establishing all these little things that they had failed to do. And at this point, they should have then tried really hard to fix the problem. Like what most parents do when their kid gets arrested and goes to jail. They're like, oh, we didn't know he had a problem.
Yeah.
Now we have to focus and he's going to go to church camp and he's going to do this and that and this and that and have it fail. That would have been great. Like we signed you up for camp or something, you know? There was no deadline. They didn't say like, if you don't get your shit together in 3 weeks, we're going to send you to the boys' school upstate or something, you know?
Like they should have done anything. They should have done anything. Instead, they did nothing. We tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas. So,
thank you, The Onion.
yeah. So he develops his eye rays, and he goes to visit Pretty Girl again. She tells him her mom said not to talk to him. So he's like, "Oh, I should go murder her," and so he does. Leaving his symbol all over the window. This whole scene, the glass in the eye went on for so fucking long.
Yeah, just too long.
It was unnecessary. You know, I don't mind it. Whatever, it's gore. And it gave us the cool moment of seeing half in red, blurry, and then clear. That was cool, like for a film thing.
Yeah.
But like lingering on her, yoinking that thing out, like, and then the spurt of blood. Like, also, I don't think your eye would bleed like that if you got. I mean, then again, that was a really long piece of glass. So.
All right.
Also, she took that like a champ.
Yeah, she did. No,
because any human being that happened to would be screaming.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
Writhing and going into shock.
Yeah.
Nope. She just bought a patch and turned it into a long john silver.
So yeah. She's murdered. The next morning.
Was she though? Because I don't think she died in that moment.
Oh. Do you think she was still alive when he took her? Oh no.
Yeah, because we see her later.
Yeah.
Oh right. So he could take her apart. So he
I
could
think that
see what he was looking at. Yeah.
Which again, to Thoreau's point of them being bad parents, you think you would hear somebody screaming.
You think that after
you would see
in your barn,
that after the alien you have been raising as a human discovers he's an alien and discovers the spaceship which you keep under your barn, you would then keep a close eye on that spaceship and the alien. They never go back down there.
I'd put the alien spaceship in my truck and drive it somewhere else. You're like, damn, we got to drive to the ocean and dump this thing in somewhere.
There's at the very least an eviscerated corpse strapped to the basement of their barn where they keep the alien spaceship, and they clearly never went back there to look at the spaceship again or talk about the spaceship or do anything.
And she's flayed open like a scientific dissection, and just like these fucking things they found in his mattress. Like, that's not even a clue. Like, look for these warning signs with your team.
I will say
a body hung up on a wall.
They seem unrealistically bad parents, but man, time after time we hear about a school shooting where parents are like, well, yeah, you know, he was torturing cats and we had to take away his guns, but then he threw a fit, so we gave his guns back to him. It's not outside the realm of like possibility for parents to be this bad.
No, I can tell you some stories.
Fair.
Real human beings are monsters.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
put that on record.
Most parents are not good.
Well, there are bad parents. These aren't the worst ones, but in this universe, they're pretty fucking bad. Especially her sister's the reasonable school counselor, you know, and then Tori's in some sort of weird denial, cow painting. But then she looks like Norma Ray at one point, like she was on the factory line all day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When she came into school.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, she had a name tag.
Yeah, so apparently
she had a job.
A patch. It was a patch, like Roy's wearing behind you.
That's right. Well, yeah, and after all of this, there's a point where she comes home apparently from work while Roy is out at the bar, and they discover he's gone. And like, why are you leaving him alone at this point in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get to it. It's inevitable.
Yeah. Anyway, so all right. So yeah, the next morning, his parents again do not address the fact that he's an alien and just discovered that he's an alien. And instead, he tells them he's feeling good. He's not angry. They decide just to pretend everything is okay.
Okay, now if he wasn't an alien, that itself is a red flag. If you think there's some things going on with your teenager and they could be serious and they say, I'm fine.
They're not.
No,
Well,
they're the generation that made that little meme, you know?
And in the manner that he delivers.
This is all fine.
I'm okay. I am perfectly human emotion feeling man.
No need to worry about me, mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to sleep. Like, yeah, he's very Hannibal Lecter in that moment.
Him not being an alien aside, this is something you want to address. Him being an alien means you really want to address it a lot.
A lot. Like the main topic of conversation
Should be the fact that, hey, you just found
mainly that.
You just found out you're an alien. Let's talk about it. I don't care if you say you're fine. I don't care if you say you're fine. We need to talk about it.
Yeah. People who are actually adopted, Earthlings that are adopted, can go through traumatic experiences when they find out. But he's from a whole other planet. He's like, no, man, it's all right. Well, good. Glad to hear it's all right.
Yeah.
Something that in this point where we're like, damn, okay, they are failing their kid. This is the time when you bring in somebody who is an expert. This movie is called Brightburn, which is annoying to me because that's the name of the town. It's alluding to Smallville, sure. The Spanish title, El Hijo, the Son, makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
But this is the moment where you're like, we need to call somebody in Kansas City or in Wichita. There's a therapist there that I read about in a newspaper or something.
Mm-hmm. Something. But
like,
no. And
that gives you a time. We're going to take you to the therapist on Monday. I made an appointment. I think there's someone you should talk to, you know, like,
and he's Peter Coyote's character from E.T. wants to talk to you in a series of tubes.
All right. So the sheriff investigates the diner. He finds Brandon's symbol on there.
Folks, that is not the Brandon symbol that we know today.
No, it's not. Yeah, in counseling with his aunt, he proves pretty definitively that he's a sociopath, but she decides to ignore it.
Puberty pubes.
She seemed like she had it together the first time we saw this moment, and now she just drops the ball.
Yeah.
So the movie can continue.
Yeah, him not being an alien aside, this is behavior that is concerning to me as a counselor. I need to discuss this with his parents and with the authorities.
Why is he doing anything creepy? He just got the go ahead on jerking off. I would not have been seen for 6 months. Oh, there's no shame in this?
This is 2019. This is 2019. He has a computer in his room. Like, what's he doing?
Yeah, it just wouldn't come out. If you want to jerk off, do it whenever and as much as you want.
Cool. Later, Dad.
Thanks. I'll take my dinner in my room.
Yeah. Slide it under the door.
I'm 18.
Don't knock. Don't knock.
Don't knock. Slide it under.
Yeah. That night, Kyle is hanging out with his brother-in-law at the bar, talking about the missing waitress. Badger decides to drive home, claiming he's cool to drive.
Which he was.
Yeah, he was. He was totally cool to drive. Tori goes home.
The device was just so they could say that, he was a little inebriated. The car accident was organic. He swerved to miss a deer.
Yeah.
But he was not. Yeah. But he was definitely had his wits about him.
Yeah, for sure. Tori gets home from her shift at the factory.
The cow painting factory.
Cow painting factory. Yeah, to find Brandon's missing. Brandon visits his aunt at her home. He's super creepy and threatening. She again doesn't call his mother
or offer him a ride home.
Yeah, walk home in the dark alone, Brandon.
Who is this human being?
I know. Like what? I understand she has to keep a clear line between her role at work, but that is his aunt.
That's a family member. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's having some trouble and he walked to your house in the middle of the night. Like,
also,
I don't know. Maybe make him some tea and find out what the fuck is going on instead
he's
of being
a child.
Walk back.
Instead of he's 11 or 12.
Yeah.
12.
Instead of saying this is inappropriate, Brandon, walk through the dark home.
Yeah. Like,
right.
Give me 5 minutes. I'll hang out on the porch. I'm going to get my shoes and I'm going to drive you home. And we can talk
what's
on the way home.
inappropriate is talking to the sheriff. That was the only thing that was inappropriate. Like, we can't discuss that because that's my job. But are you okay? Want to come in? Need something?
Yeah.
Want to ride home?
Yeah.
It's like they were a defendant and
it's like it was witness tampering.
I can't see you until
Also,
the trial's over.
She doesn't call the mom.
She doesn't call the parents.
Your kid is here. Like that would have been the coldest way to do that. Like a real human would have done that. You stay here. This isn't okay, Brandon. I'm going to go call your mom and let her know you're here, so she knows you're safe.
Yeah.
And the very least she could have done was, your kid showed up here. I sent him home in the dark. Or heads up, your 12-year-old might be showing up on your property at midnight.
She very well could have
here.
called. She could have called the sheriff.
Yeah. She could have
said, "Hey, there's a kid here. It's my nephew. Will you take him home? I can't go out because X reason."
She could have done anything outside of sending her husband a text. For apparently, I saw the phone. It was the first text that she ever sent her husband.
She's all you up.
And no, she's one of those psychopaths who deletes every text after they've sent it.
Oh, yeah.
This is the alien might read them.
So
she's definitely a cheater.
Oh, yeah. Instead of doing anything that a reasonable human would do when their nephew shows up on their door in the middle of the night, unbeknownst to your sibling, instead of doing anything, she texts her husband, turns her phone on silent, and goes to bed after taking some Ambien or something.
Okay, so I have a question about all this. That's her sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the school, after the girl's hand gets broken and the mom with the glass in her eye, pre-glass in the eye, is saying, like, whose kid is this? I know it's not yours because you weren't pregnant. What whore from the country gave birth to this baby? People know that she wasn't pregnant. This is a small town.
Well,
suddenly she has a baby.
They are open that he was adopted.
Sister?
They are open that he was adopted. They just they adopted him.
Don't you think her sister would have been like, you have been trying to have a baby? You would have told me you're trying to adopt a baby.
You're absolutely right.
How did you get this baby? Also, if you adopt a baby, people come around and ask, hey, is your house safe to have a baby in?
There's a big adoption.
How's your family?
Yes, adopting a baby is a long process.
Yeah.
This happens a lot in movies, and we're just not allowed to ask that question because the story, you know what I mean? But even the Kents.
Yeah.
Same deal.
It would have been so easy to have her sister know, like, oh, he's got questionable origins. I don't know where he came from.
A lot of things would have been easier.
Yeah. That she didn't get him through traditional means.
I mean, the Kents in the 30s, I'll give you, when like that was first written. The Kents, like by the time we get to Kevin Costner, like someone would be asking some questions.
Yeah,
I mean, like, oh, his parents were illegal immigrants from Canada and they died on our farm trying to get to Mexico or some bullshit story, like, oh, okay.
We went to Kansas City and we adopted a kid.
We won him the slot machine.
We found him in a trash can. I don't know.
Look, we're asking questions that these characters would never ask.
No.
So.
Yeah. Anyways, so, she goes to bed.
Did we mention that Brandon indirectly threatened her like the Godfather style?
Yeah, it'd be real bad for you, he tells her.
Yeah. Yep.
He also says it'd be real bad for me and my family and for you.
Yeah, he's like, it'd be really bad for you. So, anyways, Badger shows up at home. Brandon's creeping around in the dark.
They have a backyard alarm. Motion detected in the backyard. They don't even live in a neighborhood.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's such a weird thing. Also, they have a pool in the country. Damn, these people are loaded.
Yes, they are. Well,
I think I would want cameras more if I lived in the isolated in the country.
Well, I mean, they've got the money. That's
maybe not more.
That sweet school counselor money.
Yep. Sweet. And whatever Beaver does, or Badger.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, he badges.
But we don't need no.
So anyways, yeah. His reaction is like the best reaction anyone has to anything Brandon does. He's like, what the fuck are you doing in the dark? I'm taking you home to your parents now.
Yeah, like this is ridiculous.
He is a human.
Right.
In this moment, what's with the fucking mask, kid?
What the
Why
fuck
are you
is
in
wrong
my
with
closet?
you? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Let's get you home and sort this out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he takes Brandon out to his truck to take him home. Instead, Brandon runs off and murders him, staging it to look like a car accident.
He continues to like run and like strafe the truck while he's driving.
It was so drawn out.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense, really. Like, why was he even driving? Wouldn't you just gone back inside your house and been like, babe, we need to get out of here?
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that kid is an alien. Like, he was in our closet.
The whole town suspects the kid. It was the topic of conversation at the bar, which is generally where you go to not talk about your fucking kid. You know? Like the whole town.
Yeah, he leaves his symbol on the sidewalk in his uncle's blood.
Brandon. You've been branded by Brandon.
Brandon arrives home. Tori and Kyle have been calling around looking for him. Brandon says he was playing soccer and getting bullied, and that's why he doesn't have his shirt on.
You've been playing soccer this whole time?
It's like, yes.
Okay. Well, that tracks.
They do.
One lone kid.
They do at least realize he's lying, but they don't know what to do about it. Kyle finally vocalizes what the audience has been thinking all along by telling Tori they should have done something about their weird sociopathic alien child a long time ago.
Before their chickens came home to roost, both metaphorical and literal.
Kyle has a nightmare, and he and Tori are woken up by Tori's sister. They found Badger's truck. They go to, I guess, the morgue, the hospital. The authorities think he'd been drinking and swerved to miss a deer. She tells them about Brandon being at her house. She fails to mention that he threatened them Godfather style.
Yeah. Yeah. He showed up at midnight and made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Do you think we should be worried?
I am the school counselor, and I have been assigned specifically to counsel him because he broke a child's hand by squeezing it. So there's some flags.
And again, God, but like as her sister, wouldn't you be like, and you didn't call me and you told him to walk home?
Yeah.
And it was midnight? You know, like, I'm sorry, that's some shitty aunt.
Yeah.
Really I'd be mad at my sister.
Absolutely.
I'd be like, you just let my kid wander home in the dark.
There are a lot of questions around Superman, like a lot of unanswerable questions. The main one amongst them is face blindness.
Yes.
But this draws so many other questions in by not answering the things that Superman managed to answer. They should have had a list of like, here's the things that Superman does a decent job of showing us. Let's check those off. Bizarro versions, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead, everybody is dumb. And they do dumb things.
Yeah, exactly. The next morning, they tell Brandon his uncle's dead. He fails to display any emotion. They ask, Kyle freaks out and is like, I know you did it. He lies and tells them.
He says he's a fucking liar.
Yeah.
He says, he was my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like, what?
Pretty raw.
Yeah.
What is friend?
Yeah, basically. Tori does not back up her husband after finding out that there's a very, very plausible case to be made that the sociopathic alien they've been raising just murdered somebody.
Yeah.
And probably murdered the other person that just died in their very small town 2 days ago.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm no detective, but I'd start stringing shit together.
Also,
this tiny town.
The chickens. Be like, damn.
Man. The chickens. Let's put two
Worst of all, he killed some chickens.
Never even ate him. What a waste.
Brandon at this point throws Kyle through the door. And instead of doing anything about it, Tori wanders off to do something while Kyle sneaks around his room while Brandon's taking a shower.
She ushers him up to his bedroom, which I thought was that was like the one moment where I was like, oh my God, she's a parent. All right, you need to just go to bed. It's time to go upstairs. Because I've gotten into tussles with family.
She's very loving.
Yeah, and like that's what you do.
Just
is like
makes
you guys,
poor choices.
You need space and distance. Obviously, this just got physical. It's beyond what is okay in the house. Go to your room. We'll talk about this in a minute.
When we were young, it was called leave your dad alone. He'll tell you when to not.
So, I mean, just the fact. I mean, a kid pushes their dad like, "Whoa, this is a red line you're crossing." Like, let's bring it down. Your kid's a sociopathic alien who can push his dad through a door. You do a little more with that.
Well,
you keep playing that one note.
I think though there's something real about the fact that she treats him like normal. He's a normal kid. We can't overreact because what are they going to do? He could clearly.
Even in the trailer, she says they've been praying for a baby, which that's not how it works. And he was sent to her. So no matter what, he's her miracle baby.
He is her.
Yeah.
And they play the
and like any father, he kind of wants to kill and eat his young.
It is true. It is true that they constantly play the like, he is my miracle baby and I love him and I can see no wrong that he does because he is my perfect little angel and I'm his mommy.
Yeah.
And his dad's been like, I've been fine up until now. Now he's totally sus. I'm not down with the kid.
Yeah, it's time to put old Yeller down.
Yeah.
I never liked that thing.
John, you had said eating his young. That was something that I thought this movie is fucking dark and gory and brutally violent in ways that like were kind of shocking. The thing that I think this movie could have done to really take it to a whole other level, they could have had this kid literally picking people apart, and like we could have seen over his shoulder. Of him like fucking
playing
with the body.
innards.
That would have been something that would have been like, holy shit, man. That would have made this movie way better.
When he dipped his finger,
double down.
When he dipped his finger in his uncle's blood, I thought he was going to taste it.
Same.
I thought so too.
Same, and that would have been an interesting thing. Like the taste of the once a dog gets a taste of chickens on your farm, you have to put the dog down. That's the thing. Like. Or stop having chickens. But I mean, like families that have farms, and if your dog gets into the chickens, they're going to get in again.
Yeah,
because they know.
Or if the wolf shows up.
Yeah.
But that would have been an interesting thing to start to show that, like, oh, he is definitely not still part human. He is losing his humanity because he's now consuming people.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hannibal Lecter is not human because he consumes people.
He's more human than human.
So the sheriff sees the photos, looking at some crime scene photos. He notices Brandon's symbol at the car wreck site and pieces it together with the thing at the diner. Then that night, Kyle tells Tori he's sorry about what's been going on. We can all be a happy family again. He's going to take Brandon hunting as a father-son bonding activity.
Yeah, it's like the last one went so well.
Yeah.
Now we'll talk about butthole pleasures.
He didn't tell her that he was going to kill the kid, right? We're meant to assume that he was just he took it on himself.
Yeah, he decided he was going to do what had to be done.
He was uncertain to the very last second.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do. Like,
yeah, you have teen boys throw.
Yeah. Shooting
that whole
Abraham
and Isaac. Yeah, give me a son.
Murdering your children for most people is it's difficult. it's a rough moment.
It's a process,
bro. From experience.
That's what I said. Yeah, he said he had teen boys. He once had 3.
Farm's been plentiful since, though.
Yep. It's that sacrifice.
That's right. So after they've gone, the sheriff shows up and asks Tori about Brandon. Tells her about the symbols at the places. She finally realizes it, but she still denies everything to the sheriff, and he leaves. Meanwhile, in the woods, Kyle attempts to murder Brandon by shooting him in the back of the head, but Brandon's bulletproof.
Don't you think she would have driven out to the hunting place and been like, yo, the sheriff came by. We got to get this kid out of here? Like parents send their kids to Mexico or like a place without an extradition treaty when they get arrested for drinking and driving or whatever violent crime kids do.
What?
That would have been like...
What was Yuma like?
People go to Mexico. It's very close.
You were sent there.
But I mean, like,
Brian, what have you done?
Stays at home. She's just like, the cops just came by and suspected him of murder. Like the creepy caring parent thing would have been to like, we got to get this kid out of here. He's suspect number one.
It would have been
if she's trying to protect him.
She has been trying to call him, but you'd think she would have been trying to call him while she drives or something.
Yeah. No reception in the hunting place.
Yeah.
Why did he think that would work?
I don't know.
He himself said he's never bled. He never had a broken bone. Like,
yeah.
You're at least looking at a 50-50 chance here based on the information you have about the kid.
Josh, this is America. He is a red-blooded American.
That's true.
You got to try shooting.
Yeah, a bullet can stop anything, gain anything.
I mean, technically, it stops all things that person does.
Yeah, I guess it came out more grim than I meant. But yeah, that gun-toting, loving a bullet fixes anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like he was stung by a bee to bring the bee wasp thing back.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, what the motherfucker tried to shoot? It's like in our very first episode ever, Luke Benson finds out it's Superman, saw Superman do shit, shoots that fucking chest.
And is shocked.
Since you mentioned the Wasp again, the mask that he makes was supposed to resemble a wasp.
Okay. That makes sense.
Huh. It didn't make any sense to me the whole time. I was like, why does he look like the Scarecrow?
Right? Why does he look like a boxing glove that he cut 2 eyes out?
That makes a lot of sense, though.
I don't know if Brandon intended it to look like a wasp, but
it does resemble
the production design.
Yeah. All right. So yeah.
I also wonder about his little symbol, if that was supposed to be waspish, because it's pointy. It's got a little stinger on the bottom of the bees.
Yep. And he's got Dockers on. More waspy jokes.
So yeah, he melts his dad's face off with his eye rays.
He melts his dad's face through and through, not just off. He puts a hole through
the way Homelander did to Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah.
Like, just didn't stop until it was melted.
Yeah.
Just,
Which, honestly, damn, that's brutal. That fit really well into this movie.
Well, it's the logical end. We only saw Superman do it to, like, steel girders and things like that. But, like, that's what you would do.
We shouldn't have had the glass.
Crazy.
We shouldn't have had the glass in the eyeball. The jaw should have been the shocking thing, because he didn't physically do that. It happened to Badger when his jaw fell off in the car or whatever.
Yeah.
This, he is actively doing. This should have been the escalation of those things. But this is not the goriest thing that happens in the movie. It is the third goriest thing that happens in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tori calls Kyle, but Brandon picks up instead. She doesn't realize it's Brandon until it's too late and tells him everything. And that she now knows that he killed Badger and the waitress. It's revealed that Brandon is floating above the house. He starts ripping through the house, terrorizing his mother. She calls 911. The cops show up, so he kills the sheriff and the deputy. His mom realizes the only thing that can hurt him is the metal from the ship.
Brian, did you know what
Yes.
All right.
I'm immediately thinking Clapton and Bob Marley.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
Yes. He kills the sheriff and the deputy. God damn it.
And he killed the deputy. But he didn't kill the cows. Somebody did.
Yeah. The only thing that can hurt him is the metal his ship's made out of. She runs out to the barn to the ship, finds the eviscerated body of the waitress, breaks off a jagged chunk of metal from the ship. She finds Brandon, attempts to sweet talk him, hugging him so she can stab him, but he's too fast. He catches her, She drops the medal. He flies her up into the sky, dropping her to her death. He sees an approaching airliner.
Something that I thought was interesting, he flies her up through the roof of the barn.
Yeah.
And while they're in the air, she is just ripped up. Her face is just brutally shredded from flying through the roof of the shed or of the barn. I thought that was a really cool detail, but I wish they had handled the transition a little bit better, because it was because I spent those seconds thinking here they are having this connection going, how did her face get so fucked up? Is that from the barn? They did go through the barn roof, right? And I rewound it and watched it again going oh yeah. He didn't have her face under him.
Yeah.
She was held at arm's length flying through all this wood.
That's why barns are dangerous.
That's
That's exactly why.
That's the number one barn accident.
Flying through the roof in superhero movies for sure.
Yeah,
but I thought that was a cool attempt at some realism that we wouldn't have gotten in most movies. She would have been fine in most movies, and
you're
crying,
right. So you could still see her face. And,
a little bit of credit to them for doing that.
Sure,
I wish that had been, like I said, the transition could have been a little more obvious.
Mm-hmm. An airliner's approaching. We cut to the next morning. There's a newscast about an airplane crashing on their house. The newscaster says Brandon's the only survivor.
He is eating fucking cookies.
Yeah, sitting there eating
with a
cookies.
trauma blanket on. Gotta have a blanket.
Yeah.
Somebody get this kid a blanket.
We get a Billie Eilish needle drop there.
Dude, I was really surprised that was the song at the end of this. It fits. It's perfect.
Yeah. No, it was a great. It was. Yeah. That was great.
And this is 2019. This is before she had released that album. I'm pretty sure.
Was that? I thought that was 2019. It was pre-COVID, wasn't it?
Where do we go when we all fall asleep? Is the tail? I guess the tail end of 2019. So maybe this had just come out.
Yeah. Huh. Wow.
But from that to a Bond movie is pretty impressive.
Fuck yeah. We get a montage hosted by Michael Rooker as YouTube conspiracy theorist. Brandon's wreaking general havoc, destroying buildings, burning his symbols in the field. Roll credits.
Did we? There were 5 characters that Big T was talking about.
Yeah.
One being Brightburn.
Mm-hmm.
The other, the Aqua thing.
Yeah.
Then the witch woman. Who chokes people out with whips and cords.
Yes.
But then there were 2 that he didn't mention out loud, but on the background, there was a photo resembling Flash, and then a drawing which I thought was supposed to be like Martian Manhunter or something like that. It was a very alien-looking drawing.
So just like an homage kind of thing.
I think the one that was supposed to look like the Flash was Rainn Wilson's character from Super, the Crimson Bolt.
Oh.
He is a red lightning bolt guy.
He was the Crimson Bolt. Yeah, I think that was him. That was our connection to Super.
Okay, cool. I'll have to look at that again just to get the visual.
And let's see. The director did say that the sequel would have included the half man, half sea creature and the powerful witch.
All right.
Would it be a horror movie?
I mean,
I would hope so.
Yeah.
It'd be shitty to transition this, which could have been a cool superhero movie, into a sequel that's just a superhero movie.
He said there was an alternate ending they shot that featured Caitlin. That's the girl he had a crush on.
Oh, no.
In a lab, having a robot arm fastened to her, and her pissed off.
I was going to say, like, her hand modeling career was down the drain.
Yeah. So that would have been an ending for sure.
Yeah, that would have been worse for sure.
For sure. Absolutely.
Child Soldiers, I guess, would be the sequel. Kids fighting with superpowers.
The movie.
The movie. I don't know. Final thoughts, unanswered questions?
None for me.
I wish it were a superhero movie and not a horror movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a super villain movie, really. But that's...
I liked all of that. It's just, they were so unbelievably inept as parents. The right questions weren't asked. I thought the kid was kind of bland. I know he's supposed to be an alien, but anyway.
Yeah, he seemed distant.
Yeah, which I mean, I understand they were going for like an alien quality, but it didn't quite play right.
No, he doesn't have range yet. The story, was all right.
Yeah, the concept's incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, what happens? Why do we assume they'd be heroes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did anyone ever read Red Sun?
I watched the cartoon version of it. I didn't read the comic, though.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was a cartoon. It's in Elseworlds where Clark Kent falls to Earth in Soviet Russia.
Yep.
Or the Soviet Socialist Republic. It's pretty cool because he becomes like a weapon of the state, and then I think eventually becomes the Russian premier or something.
Yeah, in the cartoon version, it's on HBO. He ends up fighting a Bizarro version of himself, and it just kind of crumbles. It falls apart after the concept's cool.
So, all right, guys, you ready to rank this thing?
Yes.
Okay, so I've been looking up and down the list, and I'm kind of naturally drawn to this area we've got here. We've got like at the top end, we've kind of got like Split and X-Men Apocalypse. Then down at the bottom, we've got like My Super Ex-Girlfriend and Zoom. I think it's definitely not as bad as My Super Ex-Girlfriend, and I definitely think it's worse than X-Men Apocalypse and Split.
Rainn Wilson was in My Super Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Just to mention him again.
I mean, I think like Power Rangers, it kind of feels like a thing that it got close to doing what it wanted to do, but damn, it just failed on too many separate points to stay together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than the Shadow. It's better than the Phantom.
It is. It is.
Those two I hated.
It is the Phantom was a bad movie.
I would argue it's better than X-Men Origins Wolverine also.
Yeah, higher concept for sure.
Yeah. X-Men Origins Wolverine was just dog shit.
Apocalypse and Suicide Squad are things that failed to reach their ability, like to successfully do the thing they wanted to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see putting it between Suicide Squad and X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Al,
like it.
Like it. All right. Hey, everyone's on board. We'll do it. Quick ranking this time. Brightburn
Ranking.
going in at number 116 out of 142 movies. Which means our next week we'll be talking about the 143rd movie on our list. And that movie is Dark Phoenix.
Ugh.
That
was another one that could have been so cool.
Yeah. Dark Phoenix.
And it was not.
Yeah, it's one of the best comic book storylines ever.
Yeah.
It was the last X-Men movie made, not the last X-Men movie released.
For New Mutants.
I know. Oh man. It was like 6 years from start to finish for that thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that's next week on Harmless Phosphorescence. We'll be watching Dark Phoenix. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us. I'm leaving because I'm tired of people asking me while I'm always talking about maggots.
I'm Josh Cece, and that's not any guy thing I've ever heard of.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I want to remind everyone to leave the alien baby you found in the forest and let nature sort it out.
You can take the gun away from me, but you can't take away my laser eyes. I'm Mallory, however.
From your cold, dead hands. Thanks.
Like Betty Davis eyes.
Yeah. You got alien laser eyes. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.